One of the things I have to do to get ready for sailing is to get this tender cleaned off. So I got to flip it over, scrape the hull off, because we're going to drag it behind us as a safety item, and when we get to our destination we'll use it to get to shore. But it's covered with barnacles and growth on the bottom, so it's just going to act like a sea anchor. So I'm going to scrape it off.
out of the traffic of the ferry before I put the sails up.
So Mary and I are here on Portland Island, which is not far from where the boat is moored near Swartz Bay. This is a favorite destination for us because it's so close. You know, in a 1 hour sail or a 40-minute motor, we can be here. And we're anchored in a little cove between Turtle Islet and then the island, Portland Island. And it's a beautiful little spot. This is the spot where Mary and I came last summer. So this was our first sail together, or destination sail, was right here. And this is Mary's favorite beach. It's filled with all these really cool rock formations. Back behind us over there, when you first come down to this beach, is this large stump where all the roots are still intact and they're weathered and worn and cleaned off by time and the elements, and it's just, the texture is amazing. The beach, the word that comes to mind with this beach is texture. And then of course the big stump behind Mary there, which is where we get a photograph of Mary sitting on the stump every year. It's going to be my little tradition. Every year I need a picture of Mary sitting on that stump. So I love that shot. So the interesting thing about Portland Island is that when you come up onto the beach, there's a little meadow, would you call it, Mary? Just a clearing. And it's an old homestead, or maybe even an old town site. And so the history with this island is back in the 1850s, there was a fair number of Hawaiian men that had signed up for the fur trade. So what a lot of people don't realize is that the Hudson Bay Company owned all of Canada, but they even went down to some trading posts in Oregon and across to Hawaii. So that's how extensive the company was. And now, of course, recently in the news, they're out of business. One of the oldest companies on the planet. But anyways, this island, some Hawaiian men had come to work for the Hudson Bay Company, and then once they were done with that, they just decided to stay, and this was the island that they sort of concentrated on. They were called Kanaka, or Kanaka. And I don't know what became of them. Obviously, there's nobody living on the island right now. And then furthermore, when the U.S. denied land ownership to Chinese and Hawaiian and other ethnic minorities, a lot of those people came north to Canada where they could own land. So the island where you first come up into that meadow is filled with apple trees. So there's some signs there that explain what's going on. In 1927, retired soldier and businessman Frank Sutton might have said just that. He bought this island with big plans for development. If he had been successful, what would Portland Island be like today? Hundreds of Hawaiian men, known as Kanaka in their own language, left Hawaii to join fur trade companies in western North America. After finishing their contracts, many Kanaka decided to stay in British Columbia. More Kanaka moved north to settle in BC when Hawaiian and black people were denied the right to own land in the U.S. William Nakana moved north from the San Juan Islands and, along with his friend John Palua, applied to preempt land here in 1875. The apple trees you see were likely planted by Palua at that time. Please help us protect this heritage orchard. And then they're having problems with invasive species. Carpet burrweed, raccoons, holly, blackberry. Interesting island. It's kind of neat. We haven't really explored much else of the island. Today we're going to walk farther than we ever have on the island. We're going to go around the coast, and then we're going to cut straight down through the middle of the island. And so it'll be 4 or 5K hike, not a big deal. But yeah, I'm going to show you Portland Island in the southern Gulf Islands of BC. How's that?
reminds me of Hawaii.
Why is that?
Well, if you pan, you'll see why. We're on an island, but we're in the crevasse of that island, and it just feels like prehistoric in here. Oh, and the bugs, that reminds me of Hawaii. We just hit into a patch of little no-see-ums. But the trees are well over 100 feet tall. Scout Cove, Rock Cove.
What did you just tell me though, baby?
This is what I want to do for the rest of my life, every day for the rest of my life.
Beachcomb, go for hikes.
Beachcomb, go for hikes, beachcomb. What is that?
Check it out.
What is it?
Grab it.
I don't know. What is it? Oh, it's a tooth. I thought that was like a sea creature or something. A tooth of what? Holy f, that's a bear tooth. Oh my God.
My guess is walrus, or not walrus, but sea lion, sorry.
A sea lion. I want it. This is so cool. This is a big tooth.
Pretty cool.
We could, I know exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make a pendant out of this. Look.
Oh, wow. It's a well of some sort, hey? Maybe not. Looks like it's been carved or cut.
Yeah. Ready?
All the broken pieces are further up.
Yeah.
So at the back of this sinkhole, I just noticed at the back of this sinkhole is, you know, that vein of white rock, quartz, I guess. I don't know if it's actually quartz or not. But then we were standing here on the beach and it just extends out into the ocean, just a seam of that white rock. Pretty cool. What'd you find, baby?
For you.
A little heart rock. A little heart granite. Heart of granite.
Heart of quartz.
Quartz. We're anchored here on, or in the lagoon just off of Portland Island. This is the place that Mary and I went to last summer with Rick and Anna. And it is a park. The whole island is a park. It's got some really fantastic hiking on it. But tonight we're here, it's late April, and things are still pretty fresh on the Salish Sea. It's pretty cool, and especially in the evenings. So without power, without shore power to the boat, we don't have a source of heat other than the wood stove. So I'm just here on the beach. There's some dead arbutus over there that is fallen. There's lots of arbutus trees around here, so it's fallen onto some rocks. So I'm just gonna cut up. It's nice and dry, and it's not driftwood, so it doesn't have any hidden moisture in it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Well, there's a good start to some firewood that'll last us tonight and into the tomorrow morning. I don't know what the plan is for how long we're going to stay, but we'll see what the weather does tomorrow. It's supposed to be a little cloudy and maybe a chance of rain tomorrow, so who knows. But man, just, you know, we can cut the arbutus, the dry arbutus, but there's all sorts of little pieces of I don't want driftwood, like I don't want wood that's been in the ocean for a long time, but there's plenty of pieces of broken lumber and broken branches and things like that that are washed up high on the beach. So, you know, and it's perfectly dry, so that'll be good for us. But yeah, there's Vie Sauvage anchored out there, and if the firewood fails, there's always the diesel fuel. Just kidding.